Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Your boy Tony from Cali once again, back. This is the second part. I apologize for, we had some technical difficulty yesterday. Today is Saturday the 2nd, 2023. Yeah, we're in December the 2nd, 2023. Yesterday was the 1st. So I started making part one, and part one was going to be a longer video, probably too long. It's about an hour video. And I was trying to cover everything. I got a little excited. Did not monitor my audio. That's one of the things that you want to do when you're making videos. Like right now, I need to look and check. Is my audio coming in? Okay, looks okay. So I'm kicking back. You see, I got the broadcaster shirt on. Broadcaster HP TV, broadcasting like a pro. And once again, today is the 2nd of December 2023. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to try to continue a little bit where we left off. We were talking about the RCA VCR. This is the RCA VCR. And I told you in comparison to, I'm not going to pull out the Technicolor, but the Technicolor was my first VCR that I got. My first VCR that I got in 1980. Okay, that was my first portable VCR. And my first full-size VCR was also an RCA VCR. It was an RCA, can't remember the model number right now, but you can look it up. It's like the 201, big, huge RCA VCR with wood grain on the side. Crazy. So that was from 1979. So that was my first VCR, was from 1979. And the portable one was from 1980. That's the Technicolor, okay? That was the whole video that we were talking about yesterday. Was supposed to be about Technicolor, but I got a little sidetracked. Sorry about that. But I wanted to explain to you why it was so important to me, because of the it being my first VCR, and it's a different format. It was called CVC format, which stand for cassette, compact cassette video, compact video cassette. Yeah, and it was a different format. It wasn't 8mm. It wasn't mini 8 or high 8 or any of that stuff that didn't even exist during that time. So it was very, very special to me. 1980. It wasn't a lot of different type of recording systems available, I should say. They still had the old reel-to-reel. I got an old reel-to-reel over there too. I'm not going to pull it out. It's too heavy. I think it probably weighs about 50 pounds. We're not going to pull it out. It's pretty heavy, and it's black and white. And a lot of my cameras plugged into that. I think we probably should start with that. So now we're not going to talk about the Technicolor right now. We're not going to talk about the RCA, even though I just showed you the RCA VCR, and I got a couple RCA cameras over here to show you. Well, let's get this out the way, because let's get the RCA thing out the way here. The RCA camera that would have came with that unit was the I think it was the CC0010. Let me double check. CC010. This is the CC010. This is the camera that would originally came with the, I did a modification to it, so I'm not showing you the modification yet. But the modification is, I took the lens off, and the lens is actually right here. This is the actual lens that I took off the camera. And I took it off and replaced it with a camcorder. So I got a Sony camcorder here, as you can see. And this is a Sony camcorder, flip out screen. It should flip out somehow. There it is. Flip out screen, you know, whatever, that works. So I don't have a battery in it. But yeah, so I replaced it with the camcorder, so you can now be shoulder ready. And then I got a lens hood on here. It's not on there very good. I'm gonna put a better lens hood on there. And it looks just like you're filming with the old RCA camera from 1980. And then, like I said, you would plug this in to your VCR. This thing is heavy. You would plug it into your VCR and you would carry these two units around. Okay, that's heavy. Okay, so I wanted to get that out the way. Now, you could have used, let me see. You could have used the other RCA camera, a lighter weight one. I think this is a later. This one came out a little later. This is a CC005, okay? You could have used this one later on. This one would have been a lot lighter. And these are color cameras. And they were probably pretty good for its time period. But we're going to wrap this up. I just wanted to kind of go over that again. And remember, these cameras are the college cameras. I say that right. Are these the college cameras? Yeah, I get them mixed up here. These were the college cameras, or no, these were the high school cameras. These are in my categories. This is the high school cameras. And then, of course, the college cameras are going to be camcorders that came later, okay? I don't want to go into camcorders because I got too many camcorders. And you guys know what a camcorder is. A camcorder, the name camcorder came from camera and your recorder. Camera and recorder. And it came up with camcorder. I think that name was, came out by Sony, I think. I'm not sure. You can do the research on that. I think it came out by Sony. And it was trademarked and everything, camcorder. So a lot of cameras could not use that name at the time. They had to say cam, like I think it was a Hitachi. Hitachi had to say camcorder or something. They had to change the name. I forgot how they did it. But that name was either made by JVC or Sony. I can't remember. But you guys can look it up. You want to get more detail into that. Camcorder is where they took the VCR and they mounted it to the we'll do another section in that later. Those are going to be considered the college cameras because everybody knows what a camcorder is. From the little small mini camcorders to small micro camcorders, everything's a camcorder now. Your cell phone is a camcorder. Okay, so everything's a camcorder, even though you may not call it a camcorder. It's a camcorder because it has the camera and it has the recording system built in. This camera I'm recording right now, this is the GoPro 6. It's a camcorder, but we don't call it a camcorder. We call it a GoPro. Everybody has put their own name and their own spin on whatever camera they want to call it. So I just want to show you that. That was the RCA. You could have used this big camera right here, okay, which is pretty huge for its day. And this would have been, I don't know how much the thing weighs, but like I said, I upgraded it to high definition, and we're going to do some more changes on this to make this look a little bit better. I'm going to probably disguise this Sony here. We're going to take out the Sony and just show the HD maybe. I've got some ways of doing that. Put some plastic over it or something, and it's going to look just like a big RCA camcorder from 1980. This was from 1980, I think. 1980 or 81. It's got a date on there. I think this was 1980. I'm pretty sure. I think this was 1980. So this should be 1980. That would have went perfectly with that VCR. Okay. Enough of the RCA. Get you out the way here. Now, I want to talk about my Sony. You guys know, like, my Sony is like my baby here. So we're going to talk about the Sony here for a minute. The Sony VCR. This is the Sony Beta SL40 or something, SL340. This was the Betamax deck from 1978. So this is pretty old. Okay, this thing is pretty old. That's what it looks like. Okay, got that beige color, all this beige color around. And I didn't really destroy it or something. I tell people I don't like to destroy anything. So what I do is I do a modification to where it doesn't destroy it. So it's got that, I've got that double adhesive tape on here. So it can just peel right off. It can just peel off and it won't destroy it or take away from it. And then this is just basically a flip out old school laptop. So you could actually hold the unit like this. You could set it down on the table and bam. And now you're recording. And I got my little reel-to-reel thing spinning in the background. Okay. And colors don't look good at all in there. But anyway, it's better in person. But this is the, and it's actually plugged in. You see this heavy cable right here. It's actually plugged into the Sony camera. And it's heavy. And I got a strap on here. So you can actually pick it up and take it with you and carry it around. Now we're going to put it to the side here because it's too heavy. Make me sweat a little bit. Okay, and then this is a camera that you would have possibly been using at that time. Now this is a 1974. This is my baby. 1974 color camera made by Sony. Okay, another light doesn't look that good, whatever, but this is my baby. So if I put it, if I sit here, and you can see what it looks like sitting in front of me. You can see how big it is. It's pretty big. It's a gun, and you want to put your hand in this little area right here so you don't drop it. It's got a little handle here, and you just boom, you hit the button and you will be filming. Now this, I got the lens cover over it. Take off the lens cover. Got the cap in here too. Should be, cap should be in here somewhere. Oh, I know the cap is. So it's got a cap on it too. And this is the lens that's on here. And these lenses are interchangeable. I could unscrew this lens. I'll go ahead and do it real quick, just to show you. Actually, you can take these lenses off and you can put them on other cameras. And boom, that's it. You take the lens off and that's what it looks like. And speaking of that, I could put my, can I put this on here? Oh, this one won't fit. But this was the lens that came off the original RCA camera, which I had on my Technicolor camera yesterday. When you saw the Technicolor camera video, that was the lens that was on there. Put this back on here because I don't want to get any dust in here. But this camera is actually in brand new condition. It actually, I unboxed it a while back, and I got the original box for it. I got the owner's manual for it. I got all the paperwork for it. It's like prestige, brand new. It's just like the Technicolor unit I showed you yesterday. So this is one of my big collectible units. This is going back to the Broadcaster Museum. And I want to emphasize this. I had somebody leave a comment, I think yesterday, about, wow, you got a lot of stuff at your mom's house and all this stuff. No. This stuff is going back to the Broadcaster Museum today. Okay, I have a Broadcaster Museum. I have a real museum. Yes, I do. A secret bat cave hideout. Okay, I don't tell everybody where it is, but yes, I do have a Broadcaster Museum. So this is going back to the Broadcaster Museum, and eventually, once everything is documented, I'll let you guys maybe get a virtual look at the museum. If you want to see in this type of equipment, you can go to my virtual museum. You can go to my website and you can check it out, that type of thing. But it's not a type of museum where you go in and get to touch it and play with it like I'm doing right now. This is some fantastic history right here. This is some fantastic history. And speaking of that, like I say, when you have something like this, especially in this condition, brand new, this thing is like brand new. No scratches, no nothing. Okay? Okay, this was very, very pricey too. But if you have something like this and you want to donate it to my museum, you can do that. Just email me at tonyfromcali@gmail.com. Tony from Cali 81. I'm sorry, Tony from Cali 81 at gmail.com. 81 is the year I graduated from high school. So Tony from Cali 81 at gmail.com. If you want to donate something like this or any type of retro vintage equipment, we're going to put it in the Broadcaster Museum. So all this equipment you see here is going back to the Broadcaster Museum. I just wanted to let you know that. I pack this stuff up. If I get anything in, I pack it up, send it to the Broadcaster Museum. I do a review on it sometimes. I'm not going into restoration. I'm not trying to restore anything, change out belts and all these different things that are available. I'm not trying to do that because one thing, it costs a lot of money, and take a lot of my time to do that. What I will do is I'll do a temporary upgrade like I showed you with the RCA camera. I'll do a temporary upgrade and just play around with it. And this can be, this mount that I built on here, it's got a small rig with a, this is actually a flash mount. I'll take something like this and I can put any camera here. So I can take this Sony camera off and I decide, I don't want the Sony camera. I don't want that Sony camera on there. I want to put a different camera. I want to put maybe a bigger Sony camera. I got some older Sony cameras. Or maybe I want to put a Panasonic camera. Or maybe I find an RCA camcorder. If I find an RCA camcorder, that's what I'll probably put on here. A RCA high definition camcorder if I can find one. That's a good idea. I'll look for one of those. And then we'll keep it all RCA. RCA from 1981 to whatever year this is. Maybe 2015 or whatever. And upgrade it. Or even put a GoPro on here. I think when I first got this camera, I got it for like 15 bucks. You guys seen one of the older videos. When I first got it, I was so happy. Got it from the thrift store out here in Sacramento, by the way. And these are really hard to find. So I got this camera for like 15 bucks and brought it home and went out. And I think I added I had a small little high definition camera mounted on here. And we were filming out in the fog. So if you ever watched that video where I'm filming in the fog, that was like in 2020, I think, when my mom was alive, and I was filming like outside in the fog with this camera. So yeah, take a look at that video if you get a chance. So anyway, this is the RCA from 1980, and you saw the RCA VCR from 1980. I got it the other wrong way. RCA VCR from 1980. And I think that's where we left off on part 1 of our videos here. And once again, any camera that has a VCR where you have to carry it around, I put these into a category. I call these high school cameras, high school products. Okay, these are all my high school cameras and VCRs. Okay, because in high school, this is the type of stuff that I would have been using. Okay. Now I just showed you that. I showed you the Sony. I did say I have other VCRs, and you guys didn't believe me, so I just wanted to show you. This is a Canon. This is a Canon hi-fi stereo. I think it was the VC40 or something like that. What was this? A VR. This is the VR40. Okay, this is the VR40 hi-fi stereo. This is a very, very hard unit to get. I don't think it works. I'm not sure if it works. It was donated. I got it at a thrift store years ago. And I just wanted to pull it out to show you guys, pull it out of the Broadcaster Museum. Hi-fi stereo. This is like top of the line, portable. And I don't have the straps for it and all that kind of stuff, but I could put some straps on here and hook it up. And this would be my Canon. This is Canon, okay? Canon VR40. And what will go with that? Well, I'll show another one real quick. Here's another Canon. This one's in better condition. This is not a hi-fi stereo. This is a mono. Mono means not stereo. This is a mono Canon VCR, okay? And these two units, like I said, this was like top of the line. It says Canon Portable Video Recorder, Hi-Fi Audio HD. So this was like top of the line back in the day, okay? It would have cost a lot of money. Hi-Fi, and it's actually thinner and smaller, but they're both heavy. They're both pretty heavy. I'm showing you the wrong side here. Sorry about that. They got handles. This one's got a handle. The other one doesn't have a handle. The mono one has a handle, and the other one doesn't. I got it taped up because the door keeps popping up. But anyway, these two VCRs would have went with, I don't have the VC30 or the VC20 or even the VC10. It would have went with one of those cameras, but I do have the VC40, okay? This is the VC40, which is actually a way more advanced camera than the other ones. And I was trying to figure out how to, I got it on a stand here, and I had it modified with some other stuff. But anyway, it has the flip out door here. This is for your character generator where you do all your titles and stuff. This is a very, very advanced camera. This is the VC40, and it says 6 megahertz high band Technicolor tube. So this still was a tube camera. It's a tube camera. And the VC30, I actually had one of those that I got on eBay, and I didn't get it because I got it for so cheap. It was like 16 bucks that the guy decided not to sell it or something. I did a bid on it, got it for like 16 bucks. Didn't get it, so I'm still looking into that right now. 16 bucks for a VC30 is a very good deal. Very classic camera, because that's like the top of the line Canon camera. It's white. This is a darker black camera, but the VC30 was the white camera that actually went with the hi-fi unit I just showed you. But this is the one that came after that, so this one's probably even better. This one's stereo too. Stereo, high band, Technicolor tube, whatever. But what I did is I modified it, just like I do everything else, and I got the Canon HR 800. This is a camcorder. We were talking about that a little while ago. Camcorders, right? Took a camcorder, and what I did is I mounted it on the front of this. And the way I did that is I used a articulating arm here. Let's see if I can get this. I don't know if I can show you this right now, but it fell down on me. It fell down yesterday and kind of crumbled on me. Oh, you know what? I can't. I got it. Let me take off this. Okay. I'm going to show you how I had this yesterday. So I took this Canon HFR 800 camcorder. It's a nice camcorder. High definition. It's got microphone inputs, everything. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is loose. Oh man, I think the mount might have broke. But anyway, I had it mounted on the front of the camera like this, with an articulating arm, and it looks pretty cool. So that's the way the camera would look. Okay, bam, take it off. That's the way it looks. Put it back on, and that's the way it looks. But this, once again, I'm not gonna spend that much time on this. This is the Saticon. Turn around this way so you can see it. Can y'all see it a little bit better? Canon Saticon VR40. And this camera would have been, microphone's not, it needs to be tightened up, whatever. We're done with that. Just wanted to show you that because that camera would have went, it would have went with this high-end VCR. I'll show it to you guys the right way up. Yeah, it would have went with this VCR right here. It's a stereo camera, and this is a stereo VCR. Now, the mono units would have used. Oh man, can't get the bag out. Come on now. Okay, stuff is heavy. This is the carrying case right here. Isn't that nice? Really nice. Okay, try to have some variety of different things here. This is a carrying case that you would have carried your camera in. And this is the VC200. Okay, so this came out later. That's the VC40. The VC30 was the high-end one back in the day. And they had a VC10 and they had a VC20. And those were white cameras. All those cameras were white. When it went to the VC40, it turned black. And then of course this one is black. Yeah, a black camera, you know what I'm saying? So this is the VC200, and you can see that the size has changed dramatically. Now this is not a camcorder. This is not a camcorder. Read my lips. This is not a camcorder. It feels like a camcorder. It's small, you know. Put your hand in here. It feels good. VC200. Okay. And then you flip it around. How you flip this thing around? Flip it around. Boom. It says you right there, Canon in the front. Got the little thing right here. I got to put the other lens hood on there. It has a lens hood on here that actually just snaps on too. I don't have the lens hood on here right now. But this is, it's got a microphone? Yeah. It's got an external microphone input, so you can plug in a microphone. It's got a built-in microphone in the front right here. And this is not a camcorder. You still have to plug this into a VCR. So you still would have to carry around, bam, Canon VCR with a Canon camera. Was this a stereo one? It just says color video camera. It does not say stereo, but it says Saticon. So this still has a big old tube in there. Okay, this still has a tube in here. It does not have a chip. It's a Saticon tube, just like the other one's a Saticon tube. The other one says 6 megahertz. I don't know too much difference on that compared to this, maybe, but this was just a lightweight version of it. I think the other one. And the cord, which is really funny. The cord would plug in the front. See that little port right there? That's where the cord plugs in. And then it goes to the VCR. I have the cord and all that stuff, but who cares about this stuff, right? Who cares about plugging the cord and plugging the VCR up and walking around with a big old VHS recorder? So anyway, that's just a part of history. I wanted to show you guys that. And I want to show you, once again, this is in the category of, well, I tell you, high school cameras. This is still a high school camera. This is not a college camera. College cameras are going to be camcorders, and your camcorders are going to be, this is a camcorder. This is where we are now. We're not even at this point anymore. We're past this. Okay, people don't even use these camcorders no more. They're going to pop out, boom. You see some people with a camcorder. Yeah, this is cool if you see somebody with something like this, but most people just use their phone. Your phone is your camcorder. Your GoPro is your camcorder. Your, those body cameras, those are your camcorders now. Those police cameras, what do you call them? Body cameras. Okay, anything that can record without a VCR is a camcorder. So once again, the VC200. Wanted to show you guys that. There's several other models out there, I'm sure, that plugged into VCRs back in that day. I just got a couple. These are for the Broadcaster Museum. They came from the Broadcaster Museum, and they're going back to the Broadcaster Museum. I'm gonna let you guys know. People want to say, hey man, I want to get one of the cameras. You know, one of these days I may sell my entire, I don't say I have a collection. I say I have a museum. I tell people that all the time. I haven't told people that all the time. I'm telling you guys that now. I don't have a collection. Some people have a collection. A collection can be 3 or 4 cameras. That's a collection. You say, I see a lot of guys on YouTube. They say, hey, I got a collection. This is my collection of SLRs, DSLRs, mirrorless cameras, whatever. It could be film cameras. And they say, I got 5 cameras here, and this is my collection. That's fine. You don't have to have a huge collection. You don't have to have a big collection. I don't put myself in that category of having a collection. I am a collector, but I don't have a collection. I have a brozim. Read my lips. Brozim. Do I need to get closer to the camera so you guys can hear me? Brozim. I have a brozim, not a museum. A brozim. A brozim is where you have a collection of equipment, but you're not concerned with whether everything works. You know, you're excited about it for the time periods that it came out and that type of thing, and you want to explain to other people. You may not go into depth about it. I'm not going to go into all the different type of lenses and all that kind of stuff. If you want to do that, there's other YouTube channels, but I kind of educate you. I kind of give you that little spark of what's available. And speaking of that, we are going to go. There's so many things I want to show you guys here. We're going to go. I can't remember where I put the other camera. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. Got sidetracked here. I got a lot of cameras here. I was sitting on the ground here, I think. Okay. We're going to go back to the days of, I'll tell you about high school cameras. These are all high school cameras that require a VCR. Before high school was junior high. What was junior high? What was junior high and elementary? We'll kind of combine those together. Elementary and high school, elementary and junior high school cameras will be something like this. Okay, this is a Kodak film camera, and see, this one doesn't have a handle on it, but some of them have handles, some of them don't. I got a lot of these type of cameras. You've seen them before in movies. You got to wind them up. You got to wind up your camera, okay? And you hit the button. And boom, you see it spinning around. Okay. It's crazy, huh? Now this is Kodak, and forgot the model on this. It says Kodak Escort 8 zoom Kodak camera, whatever. Escort 8. Escort 8 zoom. I don't, that's probably the name of this particular one. But it's made by Kodak. Once again, you got to wind your camera up. And now this is, I consider these elementary, junior high cameras. Let me see, I think I can stick that in there and it'll still spin. Yeah. So you won't see it spinning, but you can hear it. And the remarkable thing about this is that I don't know how to open it up here because I haven't played with this one in a while. I have to play with these for a while to figure out how to open them up. Wow, how do you open this thing up? Anyway, we're not gonna open it up. But anyway, this is a film camera made by Kodak. I was gonna show you the wheel spinning and that type of thing. And it's a cool looking camera. And this would have been an elementary or a junior high camera. This is something my dad, my biological dad, that passed away back in the day. He passed away at 40 years old. He would have been filming with this. He used to film us when we were kids with a camera like this, and it had a handle on it. And I can put a handle on here. I got some of these with handles, but I wanted to show you this is the era. So I consider these elementary, junior high cameras because you could only film with these for like, I think 3 to 5 minutes or something like that. 3 to 5 minutes. And then you had to take the tape out. You had to take out the cartridge. It wasn't a tape. You had to take out the cartridge. And you had to, I have no idea how to open this one up, which is weird. I usually find a button somewhere. But you had to take out the cartridge and you had to have it developed. You had to take it in. You might get it back 2 weeks later, okay, of your footage. And then you had to put it onto a, you get it developed and it's on like a little reel, and then you had to put it onto a projector. Not the projectors that we have nowadays. You had to put it on, you had to fill, you know, wind the tape over those old projectors, and then you would shoot it onto a screen in your home. This is home movie production. And also they used to use these back in the schools. I remember we had projectors in school. Yeah, we had those old projectors in high school where you had to put the tape on the reels and they would play a movie. Okay, whether it was sex education or whatever it might be, but you had to. I remember we had to watch movies in school, and they were on the projector reel. I have a couple of those too. I have a couple of projectors. I'll probably show you that, and they're in the Bros-M. But this was the way you had to film. You film for about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. You might stop. You might film for a minute, film somewhere else, and you put everything all together. But elementary and junior high camera. Now, this is amateur. Yeah, here's another camera right here. I want to show you. Here's a more professional one right here. This is not even professional. This is just a more expensive one, I would say. You know, you got your Kodak one here that might cost you, I don't know what it cost back in the day. You guys can look it up and do the history on that. And then you got something like this where now you got sound. This one didn't have sound. So now you can plug in a microphone and you can record sound, have external microphone or whatever. And you could, you know, you had sound. My dad, he recorded this with something like this, and we didn't have sound. And I remember me putting sound with some of the old reel-to-reel films back in the day. And then this is with the big boys. If you had a little bit more money, you might spend a little bit more money and go with this. These are called Super 8 cameras, I believe. Super 8. This one's called a macro zoom. This is made by Sears. Okay, this came out at Sears. I got Sears. I got Kmart, Woolworths. I got a lot of these different cameras like this. But this is probably like 70s. This is more like 60s right here. And I got 60s, 70s, and then I can even go older, which I have. One of my favorite ones right here, Cinemaster 8 Cine camera. Look at this baby. I know there's too much glare, but look how small this thing is. This thing is heavy too. It's heavy. It's made out of like all metal. Okay, this thing is made out of not no aluminum either. We're talking about some, I don't know what this is. This is like steel. Okay, and this baby actually works too. And it's funny, I think a lot of these took the same film. This one probably took a smaller roll, of course, but winding it up, okay? Winding this baby up. And you have a little button right here, you hit the button. You hear it? Go to the mic. And you filming. You look through there. Can I see through there? Oh, it's a little, you can't see through there. Wow. Very interesting. A little, it's kind of smeared up here. It needs to be cleaned. Let's see. I don't know what I'm looking at. Yeah, I can't see through there though. It's a little hole back here. Very, very small hole. Y'all see that? A little hole right there, yeah. Okay, so this is a very, very unique camera. Okay, it was called Cinemaster. Y'all see that? Very small. Very heavy though. So this is still home consumer. Get people out there wanting to make videos. Boom, they would be out there taking videos of their family and things like that. Back in the 60s. This is a pretty old piece right here. This is definitely going back to the museum. These are going to be like in a glass case in the museum. I'm just letting you know. They're going to be in a glass case. I don't have a glass case yet, but these are going to be like in a glass case in the Broadcaster Museum. I had packed these back up. I put them back in the boxes and stuff normally until I get them all set up. But these would be the elementary cameras that they had back in elementary and junior high. In my category of rating cameras, elementary, junior high, and then of course high school cameras. I just showed you those. Those are the Video Revolution. Oh, I didn't pull out the Quasar. Dang. I'm not gonna pull it out. I got a Quasar set up over there too. Quasar VCR and a Quasar camera. Very nice set. Very, very, very good shape. Very good shape. Came with the case and everything. I'm not gonna pull it out. But I think you get the idea. And the Quasar one that I have, that's over in I might have to pull it out. Might have to pause this and then we might continue on. I think we may do that. Actually, I wanted to send this file straight out to, yeah, I might just, I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys that elementary and junior high cameras, okay? Elementary and junior high cameras. I categorize them all that way. You can kind of see the levels of how vintage, well, I got one more. I think that's pretty heavy. We're gonna talk about this. We had elementary and we had junior high, but I didn't tell you about the pro. They always have a pro version back in the day. Even if it's elementary and it's junior high, even though I categorize them, kind of give you a stepping stone level. Let's say that there's a pro version of the elementary camera. And so now here we go. We run into the pro version. This is the pro version. This is very heavy. This is the what do I have to call this? The Cine Kodak Special 2 camera. Kodak. Very, very heavy. This is a very, very hard camera to find. Okay, this took me a while to find this one. And I got this one. Oh man, I was so happy when I got it. It's heavy. Very heavy. It has a handle. probably break with this handle. That's a small handle they put on there, but it actually holds it. And this is the cine. So the professionals would have something like this. You'd be walking around going, yes, I'm a professional. What you need shot? What do you need shot? Yeah, we're in this is I believe 1930 or 1933 on this one. So if you had this, and you was very proud to have this camera. I'm gonna sit back, this is heavy. Put it on my lap here. He was very proud to have it. Put on my shirt here. He was very proud to have it. So yes, I can do professional video for you. Yes, I can. I can do it. I can shoot whatever you need me to shoot. This is 16 millimeter versus the 8mm. And we're not talking about tape. We're talking about film still. But you would shoot with this thing. This thing is huge and it's heavy. I'm not going to go into detail everything about it. Like I said, I don't do that with my videos. I try not to. If you want more information, look it up. This is the Cine Master or whatever. It was a Cine Kodak. Cine Kodak Special 2 camera. Very heavy. And this is definitely going back in the Broadcaster Museum, sitting in a glass case with the rest of them. Now, this one is comparable to the smaller one I just showed you. I'm not going to pick it up either. That's too heavy. It's too much weight. If you want to do any weightlifting, you get something like this. This thing is heavy. I don't even know how much it weighs. It's very heavy though. So we're going to set it back down. And that's from like 1930 or 1933, somewhere around there. I pulled up all the, I'm not going to pull up all the specs. You guys just look it up yourself. The next one we're going to go to is we're going to go back to high school, a high school camera. We're out of the elementary, we're out of junior high. And that was the pro version of the junior high cameras. Okay, that was the pro version. And that's what I want to say. There's always a pro version in whatever category. Okay, this right here is the Sony. I forgot what model this is. The CVC something. Let me look it up. Let me see if I can see it real quick. CVC 2000. This is the CVC 2000. Look how that baby looks. Y'all see that? Look at that. And you had to look through this little wires right here. Then you had look at it. It ain't got nothing to do with, you know, you can't focus or nothing. You're just looking through there to kind of see if you're framed up. So you had to look through this little wire. You flip them down. When you're done, pack it up, put it in the case, whatever. I don't have a case for this one. It'd be nice to have a case for this one. And the whole system had a tripod case and everything. I looked at it on eBay. I was trying to find one, but they were very pricey. So I found this one really cheap by itself. It's kind of beat up a little bit. We're going to do some stuff with this thing. We might make this thing high definition and without destroying it. Okay. We may make this high definition. This is kind of cool. I got to put some super glue. See, they put some tape on the, they got some tape on the logo right here, but we're going to put some super glue behind that. We might repaint this a little bit. I think we're going to repaint it, restore it. That'll be easy to do. It's only a couple Phillips screws. Take off the top. And we'll repaint it. We might maybe repaint it a bright color. Or we might just keep it original. Probably keep it original because this is, and it's missing the logo right here. So that looks ugly. It's missing the Sony logo. So I'll probably find another Sony logo and put it on there. But this is from 1965. Okay, 1965. This is cool. You gotta look at a little wire if you want to film somebody. And this is heavy. This thing is pretty heavy. It's not as heavy as the it's not as heavy as the Kodak. This is the Kodak. It's not as heavy as this, but they're about the same size. If you look at them, they're almost the same size. Okay. That thing hurt my arm. Not as heavy as the Kodak, but this is from 1965, everybody. And look at the back of this thing. Got all kinds of, let's see, dang. Too much glare. Look at that. Look at, those are your ports, your switches and everything. 1965, folks. Very cool looking camera. And might do some video with this. So, moving from that one, we're gonna go to another. That was a college camera. No, that wasn't a college camera, was it? That was a high school camera, I'm sorry. That was a high school camera. High school camera category. Here is another high school camera. This one came out a little later, a lot more advanced. Look at that, that looks cool. Look at the handle. It looks like a camcorder if it didn't have this big old cable, right? It looked like a camcorder. Okay, it's kind of big though. This is kind of big. This was one of my favorite ones too. It's very unique. I like the way see how the handle kind of goes into the body a little bit. You know, looks weird, huh? And you got your cap on here. This is so you can do your white balance. That's why they made these caps white, so you can do white balance on these mugs. Has a couple switches on the side, filter, white balance, indoor, outdoor. Okay. This is Sony. Once again, going back to my brand names. Sony. Everybody likes Sony, right? You got Sony, Canon, Panasonic, all these cameras. This was a high school, high school camera. This would be a high school camera. Put it on a tripod. I don't know if you could put a handle on this one or not. I don't know if it came with a handle. I didn't get a handle with mine. I do have the case for this one. I have the original case for this one. It says Trinicon color video camera. Trinicon. Trinicon was the tube. Was the tube that they used in here. They had Saticon, they had Trinicon, they had a bunch of different names for tubes. Vinicon. Vidicon was used on a lot of Hitachi JVC cameras and stuff. And I think also RCA. But Trinicon was mainly for the Sonys. Sony wanted to come out with their own tube. Trinicon. Like the Decepticons from the Transformers? Yeah. Trinicon. Trinicon. And then later on, when you got the TVs came out, was Trinitron. So yeah, I want to show this. Very cool. This is, once again, this would be a high school color camera. The year 1979, I believe, on this one. And see if it has the date, just double check. But I believe this was 1979. I looked it up a couple of days ago. If I'm wrong, correct me, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that was 1979. So I just showed you, I showed you two cameras that were high school cameras. The oldest one that I have right now is 1965. That's a high school camera, okay? And then you go into, once you go into junior high and you go into elementary, yes, I do have cameras that are older. My oldest camera is from 1875, okay? So that's why I tell you, I have a broadcaster museum. I have a Brozim, a broadcaster museum, a Brozim, a broadcaster museum, a Brozim. I have a Brozim, not a collection, a Brozim, because I have a variety of different type, not just cameras. We're looking at video recorders. We're looking at audio recorders. I got different audio recorders, video recorders, you name it. Television sets, you know, so it's a museum, a Brozim. A collection is, okay, you might have a collection of cameras. You might have 3 or 4 cameras. Okay, I got a collection. That's my collection of cameras. No, I have a Brozim. Okay, Brozim. Read my lips. Brozim. And these are going back to the Brozim because there's too much equipment in here today. Probably pack them up today and get them out. So I want you guys to kind of get a glimpse of that. We'll do another whole episode of college cameras later on. If you want to refer back to one of my older episodes, I may possibly put a link talking about the 1985 cameras that came out. Those kind of cover a lot of my college cameras. And we're going to talk, those are going to be camcorders from the 1980s. Most of those were like, I think the earliest one was probably 1984, and that would be the JVC CR1. My favorite camera, Back to the Future, little red camera. Yeah, I actually had that one in here too, but we're not going to pull it out. So if you want to refer back to the college cameras, those are going to be the camcorders. That's my category of categorizing all the cameras. College cameras are going to be camcorders. High school cameras are going to be cameras that had to have a VCR, some type of recording VCR you had to carry around with you, whether it was a reel-to-reel, whether it was a 3/4 inch tape, whether it was a CVC format from Technicolor, or whether it was Beta or Beta Max or Beta XP. We're going to talk about these two. We're going to go talk about the professional versions of the college cameras. The professional versions of the college cameras, like I said before, I gave you guys a quick overall yesterday. This one is the, I forgot what this one was, Beta SP, I think. This might be, I can't remember. I know it's a 6800. It's a 6800. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a 3/4 inch. This is a 3/4 inch deck. 6800, 3/4 inch, professional. So if you go into the pro version, you see there's a lot more connections on the side here. A lot more connections. Sorry about the glare. And you got a different type of connection on there. Your high school cameras will not plug into this one. You had to have a pro connection on there on the side here. I forgot the name of that, but this was a professional one. Okay, so you had to have a pro camera. And I got another one over here. I showed you guys this one on one of my older videos not too long ago. The Beta SP deck. Okay, Beta SP deck. Look at that. It's got all your meters. This is the pro version. All your audio meters and stuff. And look at those connections on the side. Whoa. Wow, right? This is your Pro version. And this is from, I forgot what year, like the 80s. It was like maybe late 80s. Okay. And then, of course, your camera that you had to plug up to it would be this. Okay. This is the M3. This is the big baby right here, the M3. Okay. This is the Pro camera. And this was from in the 80s too. I can't remember what year. I think it was like 1983. The M3, Sony M3. Look at that. Look at the connections on the side. Okay. And this will plug up to your Pro decks. I have some older ones too. The Sony over here, the Sony 1600. This is the Sony 1600. This one would not have plugged up to the Pro deck. It had the special connection on there, and it had to go with something older, like the 1978 deck that I have here. This is 1978, but this is considered Pro too. So there's different categories of Pro, depending on the year. This is 1974. This is 1978. This will be the Pro version in that time frame, in that time period. Okay, so just the same thing with the older cameras. You know, when you go back to the 30s, this will be the Pro version in the 1930s. Okay, hopefully we cleared that up. And like I said, 1965, going back to that one, this probably was the Pro version for the prosumer. I say prosumer for your home videos, corporate videos, that type of stuff. This was kind of Pro back in that day too, 1965. Especially when it was kind of revolutionary, very, very new, having to be able to record your stuff and then see it right there on the spot. So for 1965, that was very, very revolutionary. Of course, that one would have hooked up to a reel-to-reel. I'm not gonna pull out the reel-to-reel. I got a reel-to-reel, a Sony reel-to-reel over there from, I think it's like 1969. It would have probably hooked up to that reel-to-reel. And we're gonna put that together in the Broadcaster Museum. The Broadcaster Museum, remember that. Okay, we're gonna be ending this in a minute, but I got a couple more things to show you guys. Just a couple more. I didn't bring the JVC unit over here. Okay, that's okay. This right here is, once again, high school camera. Okay, high school camera. Look at that wood grain on the side. Looks a little bit beat up. I got to clean it up a little bit. This side looks better. Look at that wood grain. The days of wood grain. Station wagons had wood grains. A lot of cars had wood grain on the side. VCRs had wood grain. That was the thing, having wood grain. Just some vinyl wood grain. I got to fix this side. We'll fix that side up. But anyway, this is the JVC color camera, and it says it right there. If you can see it, it says JVC color camera. And this came out, I think this was 1978 or 79 on this one. 1978 or 79. I saw it the other day. I saw the date on here, and I don't feel like looking it up. But this one would have went with the Ferguson, not the Ferguson. This would have went with the JVC VCR, and we're going to show that right now. I had it on a stand yesterday, but on the stand it really didn't do its justice being on the stand. So I decided to take it off the stand and bring it over and show you. This is what it looks like. This is the case. I'm showing you the wrong side. Oh, what's wrong with me here? Back side of it. This is the case. This is the VCR. JVC. Look at that. It's in good condition too. JVC. This thing is huge. You see how big it is compared to me. How big it is. It's pretty big. Open it up, and this is what it looks like. Now I got to put some super glue on the panels here because the panels are starting to come off a little bit, but I'll try to flip it the way you can see what it looks like. Hopefully the panels don't come off. It's kind of popping off a little bit. This is the JVC 4100 AU or whatever VidStar VCR with the big piano keys. Okay, this thing is huge. It's taking a lot for me to hold it like this, but a man's got to do what a man's got to do. Well, I got to show you what's going on here. Okay, dang, I'm talking kind of loud. Okay, because I'm breathing heavy too. But this is the VidStar from like I said, I think this thing came out in what did I tell you? 1978. I think this was 1978 for this one. JVC VidStar. Okay. This thing is so heavy. It says, I'm trying to read it to you. It says it's the HR41. Okay, I left off the HR. It's the JVC VHS HR41U video cassette recorder. That's what they call it. Video cassette recorder. And it says VidStar somewhere else. I don't know where it says VidStar, but we're gonna find that part too. But I'm gonna close it back up because this is and what's cool about this, I had to figure this out the other day. I was like, what? How does this case come off? I was trying to unsnap the back of this, and I was trying to snap the middle, and I couldn't unsnap it. It's because it was designed to flip around like that. So when you wanted to use the VCR, you flip it around, and you snap it back together here, and then you just carry it on you with it open, so that you could access everything, and you still had your panel to flip over. This thing is pretty neat. I was trying to figure this out the other day. I'm like, okay, I won't flip that way. And it won't let me unsnap it all the way. So the middle snap does not unsnap. It's a swivel. Swivel it around, boom. Close it up. You know, you don't want no dust to get in it. And I got a really good deal on this. I was so happy to get this. I got this, and I was going right back to the Broadcaster Museum because this is very, very heavy. Now I'm gonna sit back here and just show you what it looks like compared to maybe one of the other VCRs. Let me sit back here for a minute. Now you imagine. Okay, how you guys doing? We're back. Had a little glitch there. I don't know what happened. I lost some of the video, so we're back. But anyway, you can see how this thing sits on the front of me here, and you can see how huge this thing is. I'm talking pretty loud. I'm gonna have to change my audio. I hope it's not clipping. Yeah, it looks pretty loud. I'm just excited. I'll just talk a little lower. So anyway, this is the VidStar from 1978, 1979 unit. I think it was 1978. So I was so happy to get this. This would have been a go-to unit for a lot of cameras. A lot of cameras could plug into this thing at the time. This is a college VCR. We're not going to call this a pro. We're going to call it college because it was consumer, and it was for all the consumers out there. What they call it, pro consumer. So if any camera you had, whether it was Panasonic, a lot of guys had Panasonic cameras and stuff, they plug into this. A lot of people had JVC cameras. If you had a JVC camera like the JVC, this one right here, if you had a big baby like this is the camera that would have went with this back in the day. Okay, this is 1979. They had some other ones where they didn't have the wood grain, they were black. Same thing though, they're same camera. I looked them up. I posted a couple of commercials. You'll see some of the commercials where the guy's carrying this thing. And one of the guys, he's using a Panasonic, Ferguson, National camera, whatever. They're like Panasonic. They're all the same cameras. All these cameras are all the same. So you would have had to carry this, and you would have had to carry that. So I just wanted to kind of regroup on that. Now you take that and you compare it to maybe like the RCA VCR. And this is the RCA VCR. And you can see the size is a lot smaller. Okay, a lot smaller in size. If I put it one side, you can see you got about that much left over. So it's a lot smaller, a lot lighter. And this is a later version too. This is like 1982 or something like that compared to 1979. So this is probably one of the biggest VCRs I have. Now, as far as weight, the Sony Beta Max, this is the Sony Beta Max. This one is the heaviest right now that I have. Portable, well, not really. The reel is the heaviest one. But as far as the single cartridge, this is a single cartridge. It would be a Beta Max tape that would go in here. This is the heaviest portable. And then second to that would be probably the Beta SP. Beta SP is pretty heavy. And then the 6800, this baby right here. These are the two professional units that you would have had to plug into professional cameras. Okay, so I just wanted to cover that, kind of give you guys an idea of what college cameras, what the pro versions were looking like. This is the pro versions over here. This is pro over here too, I guess, compared to consumer, and what we had to go through back in the 1980s, okay? If you're in the 1970s, it was pretty tough. You know, he was probably using a lot of film cameras back in the 1970s, but they started to evolve, and college cameras, high school cameras, you know, were available in every category. So when I say high school cameras, I'm just kind of breaking down the whole scale here. But if we go back to the 70s and you want to say, well, what was the high school camera in the 1970s? What was the pro version? You know, you're still going to have those 3 categories or 4 categories, however you want to set it up. I just set it up to where it's simple for you guys out there, my viewers, to understand. You know, when you're in this industry, like even today, we're 2023, you know, December 2023, today's the 2nd. If you go to the store, there's pro cameras, there's prosumer cameras, and there's professional. If you go and you want to buy a broadcast camera and you want to go out and shoot the news, you know, what are you going to shoot with today? What's your professional camera? What camera are you going to use? There's a lot of different models. You know, Sony, Panasonic, whatever, JVC, there's professional models. There's prosumer, where you go to Best Buy and you buy a camera right off the rack. That's prosumer. But it can be skewed a little bit, because now people are taking a DSLR and building it up, and and they get the highest one they can get, and they might spend $3,000 for a camera, and they say this is a pro camera. It's really up to you whether you want to call it. But you know, when you go out and you see the pros, you see the big boys out there, and they're using Area Lexus red cameras. I can't even think about all the different ones. Sony has a couple mirrorless bodies out there right now, cinema cameras. They call them cinema cameras or whatever. Those are the pros, supposedly. So it's how you look at things. And I tell people, don't get so hyped up on all this pro versus, you know, yours is better than mine. It doesn't matter. I'm shooting on a GoPro 6, like I said, from 2000. I don't know when this thing came out, 2016, somewhere around there. I'm shooting on a GoPro 6. Is it a pro camera? Back then, it probably was a pro. Somebody called it a pro. Somebody built a rig around it and microphones and all kinds of stuff. And there you go. I got a microphone plugged into it. I got a Rode mic plugged into it. I got power supply plugged into it. I'm not even using the GoPro internal recording on this thing. Now, isn't that crazy? You know, like when you record with your phone, you hit record, boom. You're using the internal recording on your phone. I'm not using the internal recording. I'm using OBS. OBS is my recorder. So this thing is piped out, going through a capture card. Capture card is going into OBS. OBS is going into the Bromac. We're recording the Bromac right now. The Bromac, not the iMac, the Bromac. So that's what this is all about. It's like, you know, you don't have to spend a whole lot of time setting up something. You can have fun. I have fun with my cameras and vintage stuff. And that's why I wanted to kind of show you guys some of this stuff and kind of go back in time. And this is how we used to broadcast back in the day. This is how people used to broadcast. A lot of this equipment I never had. I never had this VCR back in 1979. I would have loved to have this thing in 1979. I was like, wow. So I kind of cherish it a little bit. I'm like, this is very nice. You know, I really like it. But I just wanted to explain to the younger generation and to some of the older people that I grew up with, is that, you know, back in the day, it was a lot of work to go out there and record events. It was a lot of work. You know, you carry something like this around. You know, this thing is big. So we're going to put it down for a minute. I'm going to show you 2 more pieces real quick. I showed you these pieces yesterday, but I didn't really get to explain everything because, I don't know. I just want to show you these 2 pieces because okay. This was the AC power supply. This thing is really heavy. This was the AC power supply. Okay. For this big old thing over here. For this, one of the heaviest VTRs or VCRs that I have. So we're going to put it right next to it. It actually has a handle on it. That's why I tell you how heavy it is. It has a handle. I don't know how much this thing weighs, but you would have had to carry that. And that's precisely what I'm talking about. You would have had to carry the power supply, and then you would have had to carry, you didn't have to carry it, but, you know, if you wanted to be professional and look professional, yeah, And this is the CC unit. This is the camera control unit. This is not as heavy as the power supply, believe it or not. It feels kind of light, but you have to carry this too. Okay, it has a handle. I'll put them side by side, and they got that beige coloration. You see they look beige on the side. You got your camera outputs and inputs and stuff. Your camera would plug into here and then plug into the VCR. So these three pieces right here, you'd have to carry around with you. And it was a lot of work. And we're talking about, this is 1978. 1978, these are 1978. All these two pieces came together. It actually came with the camera, okay? And then of course you carry the camera. Here's the camera. So you're carrying the camera and you're carrying these two pieces right here with you. And they're beige. Turn them sideways so you can see them. They're all beige. They all match, okay? You had to carry all this. All right, that's what I wanted to show you. I talked about it yesterday a little bit, but the camera cut off on me and I lost audio. Now, we had some technical problems, like I said, so I wanted to clear that up, and that's why I made part 2. So this is part 2. So that was the Sony system back in the day. And I was going to show you the smaller JVC camera that I have. I see it sitting over there. I'm not going to get into that. I was going to talk about the the smaller JVC camera and the Quasar system that I have. I guess we could talk. I could show you the Quasar system real quick, but I've got to clean up because I'm getting a lot of. I got to clean up and like start packing this stuff up. So I think I've given you guys enough overwhelming information for today. I gotta show you the Quasar though. I gotta show you the Quasar. I'm gonna show you one more, and then we're gonna end this. Okay? So you guys just bear with me for a second. Let me grab the Quasar. Okay, everybody. This is my Quasar setup. How you guys doing? Back again. This is my Quasar setup. Very beautiful setup. I got it on a light stand, but once again, this is a Quasar camcorder, and this was the Quasar camera that came out, I believe, 1985. And it also has these cameras, like I said, they were all branded by different companies. Looks exactly like the rest of the cameras that you've probably seen. It looks like the Panasonic cameras. It looks like the Canon cameras. It has the flip out, what do you call it, character generator, where you could do your titles and stuff. And then this is the VCR that went with it. I just got it on the stand here because I didn't feel like carrying it around. But this is Quasar, all Quasar, okay? So I guess I can take it off the stand. Oh man, little title's coming off here. You guys just bear with me. Try to figure out how to take this thing off. Okay, take that off. All right. I even have it plugged in. So this is like my. I was gonna play around with this one and kind of take this back out, and it's kind of a lightweight system compared to the other VCRs that I showed you before. So this is going to be one of my lightweight systems that I was going to take out and kind of show everybody, but I haven't done it yet. I will show the VCR a little bit more. It's in really good condition. Quasar. I just moved the little sticker that came on the lens here. I just kind of moved it a little bit. It's offset, and it was telling you all the information about 8 hours recording and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, whatever. This is the front of the Quasar unit. Very nice looking unit. Sorry about the glare. Apologize for that. But this is a very good unit. It's in really good shape. Not all being banged up, scratched up, and things like that. And I just wanted to show that for the record. So this came out, we're looking at probably around 1984, 1985. Okay? And this would be the VCR. It's pretty lightweight. This is very lightweight compared to most of your units. You usually have a push button here, pop it out. This would be your battery, but this is also an AC adapter. This is actually an AC adapter, but the battery goes in here too. I got the battery for it, and that makes it even lighter. This one does not have a handle, so you'd have to put the straps. The straps, they kind of fit in on the side there. And this would be the Quasar unit. And you can see a lot smaller than this big old beta unit that you would have to carry around. And we're talking about a difference in 1978 to 1985. Okay? So just wanted to kind of show that. And I think that's going to be, that's not our, once again, going back to the camera, the actual camera. Here's the camera a little bit more in detail. Got your character generator. Okay. You see it says Quasar right here. Back here it says Quasar. And the Nuvicon tube, just took the Nuvicon tube. It says stereo microphone. Wow. Stereo microphone on this one. Okay. Quasar. Very good shape. Very nice looking unit here. Telescopic microphone, which is great. And this is Quasar. Okay, so you would carry this around. Got your handle here. Pop your handle in this little thing right here and you carry it around and be looking just like this. Boom. I'm doing professional video back in 1985. This would have been cool if I would have had this in 1985, but I didn't have this. I had Technicolor, okay? Technicolor. CVC with the Technicolor camera. That's what I had back in that day. But this would have been cool. But I got it now. So that's why I'm happy. I didn't have it then, but I have it now. Now, I'm gonna pop this over here. And I'm gonna show you guys this case here. Kind of dusty here. We're gonna dust it off a little bit better. We're gonna clean it up. But this is a Sony case. As you can see, it's a Sony case. And I just wanted to show you guys this case. This is the case that the 1979 high school camera came in. Open it up. It's got a little packing stuff in here. That's what it looks like. Not too fancy or anything. Okay. But the 1979 camera goes in there. I'm gonna put it back in there because going back to the broadcaster. That's the 1979 camera that I got. That one's going back to the Broadcaster Museum today, but I wanted to show it to you. That's what it looks like. And you just pop it in like so and put your cord in, and it looks like that when you put it in, and that's it. Close it up and you're ready to go. You're ready to go film some professional stuff back in 1979. So in 1979 you would have carried this around. This would have been your camera case, but you still had to get your VCR. You still had to carry your VCR. And I showed you the other Sony cameras yesterday. Those were the other ones from 1980. I've got 3 of those. I didn't show you the black one, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I showed you the silver one in the case, in the beige case. It's the same as the black one. They came in like 1980, 1979, 1980. And those were the 2200. Those were very cool, but they're still considered to be college cameras. Actually, those could have been pro. We'll call them pro. We're gonna call those pro. And they had a proprietary cable that plugged into that Sony recorder I showed you yesterday. And I got another Sony recorder that works with that too, but that's another story. Now, the Quasar camera I showed you, that was a camera system from 1985. But when I got started, and this is where this video is all about, how I got started broadcasting. What I got started with is my original camcorder from 1986. This is my camcorder from 1986. Not the original, it's a duplicate. Mine's lost, long gone away. This could be it. Maybe somebody got it in a yard sale and resold it back to me. But this is what it looked like from 1986. That cost me around 1,500 bucks back in the day. 1986 at Cook's Hardware. This is the camera I talked about in one of my previous videos. And this is the camcorder right here. And like I said, you got your VHS tape. Goes in this compartment right here. Your little buttons up here, your controls. Open it up, boom, you're all right there. That's pretty nice. On and off power right here. Your battery goes in here in the back. I got a bunch of those batteries. They don't work anymore, unfortunately, but you can make one working if you want one to work. I got adapters and everything for it too, where you can adapt it. And we're gonna rebuild this one to be high definition, probably on one of my next videos. But this is my camcorder from 1986, and this is when I became mobile broadcasting. I was a mobile broadcaster back in 1986 with this one. This is when I would go out and take different events. Used to go out to the state fair, used to go to different places and do my little news reporting with this baby right here. Quasar. And the model number on this, if anybody's interested, is the, I think it was the VM, it says on the bottom too, 1986. This is the VM, I think this is the VM11. Yeah, this is the VM11, see? I remember my model numbers. The VM11 from 1986. So that's gonna end our conclude our broadcast for today. And I just wanted to, am I recording? Yeah. That's going to conclude our broadcast for today. For cameras, college cameras, high school cameras, and so forth. Hopefully you guys got an idea of what I was saying. And I'll conclude with one more thing here. This plastic camera right here. Once again, I was talking about this camera yesterday right here. Do not buy this camera if you want to be serious about some serious recording. Do not buy it unless you just want to be a collector or something. That's great. But this is just part of this is pretty light. I'm going to play around with this. I'm going to probably make this thing high definition because it's so light and it's fun looking, because it looks like an old camera from the 70s or 80s, but it's really from 1985. And this is that Cortland video camera that came out in 1985. I didn't know anything about it. I probably would have bought it back then. It probably was expensive back then though, but I got it for like 15 bucks. So I'm going to play around with this, and we're going to make this thing high definition. Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there because I keep going back to this because it looks just like that old RCA. Oh, they was trying to make it like this. They was trying to make it look like this camera, kind of, or any camera that was from that era. And this is really heavy, and this is really, really light. It feels like nothing. So this is just a toy. Okay. Anyway, that's going to conclude our broadcasting history. The broadcasting history. And once again, talked about the Broadcaster Museum. If you guys want to donate, don't hate, don't wait, donate. Okay, it's Cash App, $Tony McDew. We didn't get to say that on the last video because we lost audio, and it was a long story behind all that. I apologize for that. We lost audio, and I didn't even know I lost audio because I was like talking for like another 30 minutes. It's crazy. So I lost audio, and I want to tell you guys, don't hate, don't wait, donate. And everything I'm showing you, you don't have to do what I'm doing. You may not even like what I'm doing. It doesn't matter. You know, it's about just, you know, whatever makes you happy in a way. And, you know, just get right with God. I tell a lot of people, get right with God. You know, it's not about when I leave, all this stuff that I have, these things, they don't matter. I have fun with these things. It's a hobby, but I trust in the Lord more than anything. Okay. And I tell people this, I trust in the Lord, focus on that. And this just becomes a distraction, a deterrent, a hobby. You know, I used to gamble back in the day. I had somebody ask me on one of my blogs or a video yesterday, I think. He said, do you still gamble? No, I don't gamble anymore. I tell this, I've been saying this over and over and over. I don't gamble. I'm very happy, very content. Am I a rich man? I'm a rich man in spirit. I'm a rich man in knowing the Lord. Okay. I'm a rich man when it comes to that. I'm not rich in the finances of the world. And I don't look at being rich or famous or any of those things, big YouTuber. Matter of fact, my monetization has been cut off. I don't even get monetization for things that I say because I probably said some things I'm not supposed to talk about. And I think that's why they probably took me off for monetization. So I don't get paid from YouTube. I don't get paid from YouTube ads. I don't get paid from any of that. I work for help my dad out through IAHSS, got a little job. Work a minimum amount of hours per week. I do that, and that's it. So once again, if you want to donate, hey, donate. Don't hate, don't wait, donate. I buy my little stuff from the thrift stores, stuff like this. Occasionally, I might get it for $15 and $20 or whatever it is, and I'm happy with that. We go out and get meals. We went and got out we went and ate yesterday. I think we had I had Chinese food. I had some Chinese food over at the Viva supermarket down the street. Keep it real. I got some Chinese food, and Dad got what did he have? He had a turkey sandwich, and we treat each other. Okay, that's what we do. We treat each other. So if you want to donate $5 or $10 or $20 or something, another guy, he donated $20 the other day. Thank you for that donation out there, by the way. He donated $20, and we went and got something to eat. And if you like what I'm showing you with the vintage equipment, the vintage technology, if you're learning anything from this and you want to learn more about this type of stuff, once again, donate. If you like the channel, subscribe and donate. But I don't get paid on the channel anymore. I don't get paid. I used to get a little monetization. It wasn't that much. Maybe like every 3 months I might get like $100 or whatever. It wasn't much. But now I'm not even getting that. So that's what I tell you guys. Don't hate, don't wait, donate. I'll show you guys more vintage stuff. I have a lot more vintage stuff to show you. I can't show it to you in all one episode, and I apologize for spending so much time to show you this stuff, because it does take a lot of time to get the information, to learn about it. Here's an old Radio Shack mixer. Old Radio Shack mixer in really good condition. Still showing you stuff. Still showing you guys stuff. Radio Shack in good condition. It works. I can turn it on. It's actually plugged up, isn't it? Yeah, it's plugged up. Did y'all see it bright? Turn on after that just now? I don't know if you can see it. Yep, it works. I got a Radio Shack microphone. I plugged that in yesterday, tested it out, and this is Radio Shack, vintage, back from the 1980s. And I use this to do my broadcast. I haven't hooked it up. I'm gonna have this hooked into OBS. We're running into OBS. I gotta get some adapters and hook it into OBS for our audio. Right now, it's just all HDMI. I got a little HDMI capture device. Everything goes into that. Comes from the GoPro 6. We got the little Rode. You see the little Rode microphone right here? That's what we're using. Keep it real. I try to keep you guys in the loop and teach you guys how to do broadcasting. Okay, not broadcasting, broadcasting. And all that means is that just use whatever you have. Okay. You guys keep safe out there. Once again, I love you guys. Peace and love. Don't hate. Don't wait. Donate. $ Tony McDew. Go to my Cash App. $ Tony McDew. Because I love you. And we out.